Ladies and gents, welcome to the Blood DK and what will probably be our final look at the Blood DK before it goes live onto Warlords of Draenor when it actually joins us in this universe. For those of you with any questions regarding this video, please check the disclaimer below, especially if you're concerned about things like DPS and healing and all that kind of stuff. You'll find some information there that may help you. Other than that, on with the show. So, gameplay-wise, last time we looked at the Blood DK way back when, it was not a great video. It wasn't at all. It was not a great impression. The Blood DK had some serious goddamn issues, man. Really bad. It was, one, extremely overpowered and extremely boring due to its combination of things like conversion and the fact that generally the best way of playing the spec back then was to not actually use your runic power for anything else other than conversion, which was healing you for absurd amounts. This presented obviously huge gameplay issues, because so much of the spec was actually taken away, and the playstyle was taken away by using that style of gameplay. So luckily, this has actually done a 180, and I have had fucking huge fun on the Blood DK. Oh my god. I've been tanking with it for most of the evening. I was tanking with it on the live stream. I was doing all kinds of stuff with the Blood DK, and my god, I just had some fucking fun with this. I really have. There's not much to complain about here. Obviously, there are certain concerns still going around, but that's part of the tuning process. Everybody wants the perfect class. It's going to be a running theme throughout the rest of our looks at Warlords of Draenor classes before they come out. But people obviously want the best spec. They want everything to be perfect and idyllic. That's not going to happen. I'm not in the idyllic world. It's never going to happen. What I think we should aim for is something that's really fun, works, and it's all good, man. And if you have some little tweaks here and there, that's fine. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. I'm still sad we did not get Heartstrike back. I still feel that is really goddamn clunky. Real clunky to just have Blood Boil, Deathstrike, and our diseases, and that's pretty much fucking it, right? In terms of damaging attacks. Using Blood Boil on single target, it just feels weird, and it's not intuitive, right? I would much sooner have that single target spell that does more damage. Of course, Heartstrike does have its cleave effect, but does more damage in that scenario. But if I'm switching to AoE, then I have a different spell to do that. The loss of Pestilence is fine. Most of us were using things like Roiling Blood, and then now just having Blood Boil. But again, I would like Heartstrike back. I still would, Blizz. I'm really sorry, but it's not going to happen. No more major gameplay changes are planned for any class as it stands right now. It's all about making sure the damage and the numbers are correct. So that is it. You will not be getting Heartstrike. It doesn't look like it. It's gone. So face facts, guys. It's out of here. A little bit sad about that. Other changes that you guys might want to be aware of if you're considering rolling this. One is the big change that's occurred to Rune Tap. Rune Tap, if you're playing live, actually is a heal, and it was a heal when the Warlords of Draenor started. They've changed that, and it's so much fucking better. Oh my god, thank you, Blizz. Rune Tap still has the same recharge rate, 30 seconds, still costs a blood rune, but now it actually reduces all damage taken by 50% for 3 seconds. That means it's one of the most potent, powerful, and skillful abilities in your arsenal. Yeah? It's not like Bone Shield, which has 8 charges and lasts quite a while. Doesn't work that way. You're only going to get 3 seconds out of it. It's not free. It's not Vampiric Blood, which is going to give you 10 seconds of power. It's not Death Pact, which is giving you huge amounts of healing. It's not Dancing Rune Weapon, which is going to give you loads of time to do stuff with. Rune Tap is now easily the most skillful ability to get right, and if you get it right, the fucking results of this thing are awesome. What we'll see, or what you guys will see who haven't played it yet, is Warlords of Draenor turns up the number of mechanics fucking tenfold on Mists of Pandaria. It looks at Mists of Pandaria, it whips out its dick, it shoves it in its mouth, and it says, you know what, fuck it, we're not having easy mode no more. So you're going to see a big increase in things like Enrage. Enrage is goddamn everywhere, especially short burst enrages, yeah? Lots of stuff like this in UBRS, lots of stuff like this in Skyreach, lots of stuff like this in the Everbloom. In fact, most dungeons have some sort of short-term enraging effects or big powerful spells that you need to be ready for, but you've got to time that son of a bitch right. You've got to time that son of a bitch right, because it's only 3 seconds, and it's a direct counter to that. You'll see tanks walk up to a mob and get fucking crushed, where a DK, using his Rune Tap correctly, will walk up to that mob and be like, I'm alright. I'm more than fucking fine, bro. Hit me all day with that enrage. You know why? Or at least for 3 seconds, because after that I might get squashed. But other than that, it's fucking wonderful. Really like the change to rune type. Magnifique. Absolutely magnifique. I did want to bench up Death Pact. This one's giving people headaches across the board. Death Pact has changed. So you might remember in Mr. Pandaria, Death Pact like sacrifice like the minion, the health of one of your ghouls and all that kind of stuff, right? Not anymore. Death Pact is now so powerful, which it is, it's a 50% fucking heal. It's actually 51% on Warlords of Draenor. 51% of your maximum health, so whopping great big fucking heal. That is going to come with a price, as does the rest of the things in that talent tree. Like Death Siphon also has its fucking drawback, right? It's going to cost you runes to do it. Conversion is draining your runic power, and that all sucks and sucks and sucks. So Death Pact's drawback is it actually, let me read it for you, it's going to heal the DK for 51% of his max health, and absorbs incoming healing, that's right, debuffs you, equal to 50% of the amount healed for 15 seconds. 15 seconds! Oh my god, that's fucking huge! Oh my god! Holy shit, it debuffs you for 15 fucking seconds, man. Absorbs incoming healing equal to 50%. So obviously, you can get rid of it before 15 seconds, right? Don't panic. It's not like you're taking like half healing for 15 seconds or anything like that. But it does need to be cleared. It does absorb the healing, right, for that amount. So if you use this while you're like on its maximum potential, like 51% heal, you're going to have to take that. So if you look at a sort of a level 100 tank right now, in his basic form, that's about 350k HP. That's plenty of fucking healing that needs to be made up for somehow. That can be done with things like Death Strike and all that kind of shit. So there's that going on for you, but it does debuff you pretty heavily. And that means you can fuck yourself up a little bit with Death Pact. You got to be a little bit careful. It's not the get out of jail free card that it was in the past. Yeah, so what we had is Death Pact in Mr. Pandaria. It was like, holy shit, Death Pact, and I'm fine. Now it's a case of, it's Death Pact, but have I made the right decision here? Was this the right choice? Which is great. Good depthy gameplay, all nice to see. I've actually really fucking, I like that. I do worry it will get changed and maybe simplified. Would that be the end of the world? No. But people could fuck themselves up pretty royally with Death Pact, yeah? Currently on the, I believe, I've tested this a little bit, but it's hard to test because I don't really sit there looking at combat logs and shit. But I think if you overheal yourself with it, that adds to the absorb. And that's not good. So if you use it for a small heal, which you shouldn't be doing anyway, right? It actually kind of double goofs you. That's right, it's a double goofing. When it comes to level 100 talents, they're sticking with what we were getting originally, okay? Which is the Necrotic Plague, the Defile, and the Breath of Sindragosa. Now, fortunately enough, on the side of the Blood DK, these aren't that fucking bad. These aren't that bad. Where we've seen with the DPS DKs that this has been a little bit like, some of them are like, I don't really like that. It's kind of sucky. It's actually pretty cool with the DK. It's actually not bad. I'm rolling with Necrotic Plague in general. This is like a dungeon build, yeah? Necrotic Plague puts out loads of damage and also just fires back at you loads more runic power. So when it's ticking on various targets, the more ticks, the more runic power you get, which allows you to put out more Death Strikes, more Blood Boils, allows you to just be very cool and sort of spammy with your abilities, which we do in dungeons, right? Eventually, we're going to overgear this shit. Let's face facts. It's going to happen. And when that happens, and it works quite nicely, when it starts ticking on multiple targets, you get loads of runic power. It's a lot of fun. I did read some complaints that it was like, it's too spiky. If that's your biggest complaint currently with the Blood DK, that's all right in my book. That's all right. Defile will probably be the go-to sort of raid ability. It costs 1 Unholy Rune, and it reduces the damage of the thing stood in it by 10%. 10% damage reduction, 30-second cooldown. GG. That's GG in my book. That's fucking fine and dandy. If you compare it to Breath of Sindragosa, which, you know, heals you for the spell damage that you get hit by when you use it, still a 2-minute cooldown, still drains your runic power and all that. Doesn't seem to marry up that much towards Unholy, to Defile, which is just an Unholy Rune with a 30-second cooldown. Just replaces your Death and Decay, and you get 10% damage reduction instead of the 20% heal. But it could be a huge heal, because it heals you. Let me read it. Max Sindragosa causes you to be healed for 20% of the spell damage dealt by afflicted enemies. So if you have mega amounts of spellcasters, my god, you get healed for so much. You can't die. You know what I mean? You can't die. It's a wonderful, wonderful ability. But I think in general, most things are physical so far, and even up to Mythic, most things are physical. Defile's going to be the go-to, which is good. Again, this is a good level 100 talent, right? 10% damage reduction, that's fine. No fucking complaints from me, bro. It's nice, it's fast. Yeah, we had this huge issue when we first tried the Blood DK of it being slow as balls and boring and crap and shit. And all those words were apt for the class. Not anymore. Nice and fast, always something to do. I would like to bring up, though, that I still find really annoying, is the irritating reason that Rune Tap is so good that we have to keep that Blood Rune sat there doing nothing all the time. And when you consider that the other classes don't have that issue, if we consider such powerful mega abilities like Bristle Fur that just go to, they use a resource like Rage or something like that, it's a resource that we can generate rather quickly. A Blood Rune, when it's on its full cooldown, it's not coming back that quickly. So you do have to keep it sat there unless you're so familiar with the fight and the pattern that the mobs do that you know you have the period of time to actually get it ready, because you need it for... I need it in like 10 seconds, so I can afford to get rid of this Blood Rune because I know I don't need it by then. That's not how it really works in progress by any means. We need that emergency 50% damage reduction because it could come in so fucking handy. And therefore, good Blood DKs are going to be sat there with that Blood Rune just hanging around. And no other tank has the burden, really, of having that hanging around. Even the Brewmasters, especially if they're using Chi Explosion, don't really have that issue anymore, where it's just naturally purifying staggered damage. So... it's not a big deal. This is what I want to say in a conclusion here. Blood DKs are playing pretty good. Pretty fine right now. Pretty fine. The little problems they've got are probably going to be ironed out in the tuning. And even if there's very little tuning going on right now, it's not that big of a deal. The playstyle is miles better than it was. It's easily competitive. It's fun. Be happy. It could have been so much worse. And I think you're actually going to pretty enjoy it. The changes, the major changes like the Rune Tap change, our level 100 talents, all that stuff is pretty good. It's pretty good in my opinion. I've enjoyed it. I've had a blast playing it, and I think you guys will too. So, alleviate your fears from the previous video. What a contrast, right? What a frigging contrast. Alright guys, that's me. I'll see you later. Bye.